What is going on, guys? Good evening, and thanks for logging on here, checking us out, watching the latest live here as we've got the severe weather event starting to unfold this evening. All right, we've got the potential of a tornado watch now going to be issued, a 95% probability of a tornado watch coming here across southwest Indiana, southern Illinois, and we've got tornado watches all across the portions of the Midwest here. I'm going to go and share the window so you guys can see. And again, good evening to all of you, and thanks for tuning in tonight as we kind of get underway here and get things up and running. So this is a look here. I know you don't want to really stare at my ugly mug too much. There we go. This is a look here at the current situation, current radar here across the country. And boy, what a storm. You know, we've got a heck of a storm going on across most of the nation here. And again, you can see here as we look at just winter storm going on across Minnesota, Iowa, portions of eastern Nebraska, Kansas, heavy snow on going upwards across Michigan. You've got ice storm warnings up there. And then you've got the severe weather underway going on here across the Midwest. Tornado watches for St. Louis, down to Little Rock, all the way down to Shreveport. And then out ahead here, a probability here of a new tornado watch coming of 95%. The environment starting to really destabilize. And, you know, we've been sunny all day. It's obviously very windy. We've had some nasty problems out there, at least across the state of Indiana. Almost 28,000 people right now without power. And what we're going to do is just essentially kind of watch this system evolve. A great question here, and I'll tell you, I've had a lot of thought on this question here. Are we mostly for Midwest and Ohio Valley? So I'm going to start really trying to step the game up on severe weather coverage and streaming throughout the country. I feel as if we are lacking in having a source of, coverage that's not super hypey and super techy, and you get kind of down to earth analysis and live coverage. So I'm going to start kind of expanding my efforts towards there. So if you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, make sure you do, and we will continue to kind of keep you guys posted. But right now, we're just kind of watching the system here in and of itself start to get legs, start to grow here, and start to become a little bit more organized. We'll kind of come down and start on the south end of this. We have severe thunderstorm warnings there across northeast Texas. A lot of this stuff is going to be for hail in the southwest. Now there is the potential there for wind as well. And these storms, you can see particularly this storm here zooming in just north of Mount Pleasant there, northeast Mount Pleasant, Texas, Mount Vernon. The supercell storm working its way in through there with the potential for hail. This one here, a little bit more in the way of wind being possible, but you can kind of see this line starting to organize as it comes here across southwestern portions of Arkansas. And then we see some more organization here, across central Missouri, eastern, southeast Missouri, and getting into St. Louis. We see some more severe thunderstorm warnings. A lot of these, again, for the potential of 60-mile-per-hour winds. Mountain Home here, getting into West Plains, a nice line of storms. And then heading up into St. Louis metro area, this is also working its way east as well. And so we are looking for this line to continue to mature and head east really throughout the next several hours. And that's really kind of the idea here. A couple things we can do, and I always like to, I like to personally get a little technical. I like to share things with folks on how they can, better understand weather. This is what I mean here by the tornado watch likely being issued here within the next 1 to 2 hours. These discussions come out from the Storm Prediction Center, and they kind of give the forecasters, the meteorologists, the times here to, Sutton, can you stop that, please? The times to, kind of some, forewarning, if you will, kind of some things that you're allowed to get some insider information, if you will, to give you some lead time on the potential watches and whatnot coming. So here's the deal. That watch will start to fill in, but what we want to kind of look at here, is I want to show you something. We can get, again, a little bit more technical at times to just try and help you. And this is the upper level wind charts, and those are essentially suggesting, these winds aloft to probably somewhere around 55 miles per hour are what these storms are moving. We can always kind of look at winds around 14,000 feet, and we can kind of see what what those storm motions might be, right? Or what the speed of the storm might be. And I can go and get more information just by clicking on the warning for one. So I can come here and it'll say it's moving east at 45 miles per hour. And so those winds around 14,000 feet at 50, 45 mile per hour movement's about anticipated, really. It's about expected. So what we can do is a couple things. We can look at this and really we can have some fun with this and kind of draw impacts, linear impacts over the next 90 minutes of this, this line of storms. All right, and we can kind of do that if we kind of just draw some points here, just kind of like this. Again, and we can move it. Here we'll take it about 40. We'll call it 48 miles per hour. And as you zoom in here, up and along the line, we can get ETAs of cities out ahead of this. Okay, a very cool tool here coming from Clarity that will be released here within a day or so, probably. But you can see different cities and the impact times, and we get out here to places like Sullivan, Missouri. All right, it's just the leading edge. It's not specifically for where you're going to be getting the worst part of the storm, if you will, but it's for the leading edge of this entire line of storms. We have a new warning coming out. Just here, I'll turn that back on for you real quick. A new warning coming out just down here in ahead of this line in Missouri that'll go for another hour, but that's going to go for Ozark County, Eastern Wright County, and Eastern Douglas County, and Howell County in Missouri, and then Texas County and South Central Missouri as well. So it's a big one, but it's for the potential 60 mile per hour winds. It'll go till 4:30 Central, and you can see again like West Plains 527. Willow Springs 446. Now these are in Eastern time. All right, it's in Eastern time because I'm in Eastern time zone. All right, I'm not out in the Central time zone. So subtract an hour if you're out there, right? It'd be 346 and 427. Just FYI on that regard. But yeah, this whole line moving east. Here's a new discussion, or actually, let's go to this new warning here, just coming out right now. You can see that warning flashing, coming out for Ellsbury. And again, this one here for 60 mile per hour winds. And again, we're going to start to see this Batchtown, Winfield, Moscow Mills. Again, this is all an hour behind. So 413, 404, 427, Rosedale there. But we're going to start to see warnings kind of just pollute the map here up and down for this. This is really what we call a squall line. All right. And the squall line is stretching a long way, 1,000 miles really, from Peoria all the way down to Northeast Texas. And it will continue to organize, get its act together, strengthen, if you will, as it moves east, which is why we're going to kind of cover the south central portion of the country here with tornado watches. So here's a new tornado watch that now has just been issued for portions of central Illinois. That's going to go for the next 6 hours. All right, that watch literally just came out. We can go here to the SPC page too, and just kind of sometimes these watches populate or come out a lot faster on Clarity, and we got to wait for the info to come in on them. So they're in quick, right? But a tornado watch for all of central Illinois now for the next 6 hours: Bloomington, Illinois, Urbana, Decatur, Springfield. And again, it is for the potential for embedded tornado development. Now, we'll go to the meso analysis and look at kind of some of the tornado parameters. And you'll be able to see, one second, we may have a tornado warning coming out here. Let's see where we are. I want to keep this zoomed out so I can keep some perspective there. But you can go to the SPC page and look at the parameters for the tornado development. Okay, and essentially just kind of look and see what we're dealing with, the probability for tornadoes, And you can see a lot of those are relatively low right now. And I will tell you at times, I try to be supportive and in agreement a lot with, obviously, with the public message. But here's the thing that I will tell you is that it's a lot of times I feel like the Storm Prediction Center or the Weather Service is tornado watch happy. They get a little wild with tornado watches. Now, I'm not saying that that's the case right now, but there's not a ton of support for these storms just yet to become extremely tornadic, if you will. Okay, now I do have a tornado warning that has been issued here for Willow Springs down here in let's see, down here in Missouri. Tornado warning for northeastern Douglas County and southwestern Missouri, northern Howell County, and south central Missouri and southeastern Texas County. That's going to go until 4:15 Central. It's moving east at 45 miles per hour. It is radar indicated rotation, but nonetheless, we certainly can get a storm track on that. All right, we can look at that and see where this storm is heading. Again, moving east at 45 miles per hour. You can kind of see here, there's really no big cities. I'm going to go this way. We're going to do a linear track, and we'll start drawing that way because, and the tornado threat is probably right through there. But again, we'll take it out right here, and you could see Sargent, Missouri, Willow Springs, Mountain View. Again, Central Time, that would be 4:21. Okay, Willow Springs 4:01 Central, Sargent 3:49 Central, not Eastern Time. But again, that tornado warning is going to go down there really for the next 30 minutes. All right, so looking like we're starting to get some warnings popping up here for sure. Let me come over here. Looks like another severe thunderstorm warning coming in now for areas just. You'll see this warning come in and populate here momentarily. Just north, there it is, just northwest of St. Louis. This one here for 60 mile per hour winds. So if you're coming in on the St. Louis metro area, you can see kind of what's happening is we are getting this line to start to mature a little bit, become a little stronger, and we're seeing everything really kind of go to that potential severe wind gust category, which was the main concern here all along. But again, 60 mile per hour winds. That's going to go for until 4:30 Central. It's moving east at 30 miles per hour. We can kind of get an idea here for the entire impact area across the line. We'll do that now as it works this direction, just about like that over the next, we'll call it 90. Let's get it out into St. Louis roughly. It's about 120 minute projection, but it's got St. Louis here with an impact in the St. Louis metro area at 5:23 local time. Okay, yes, that's 6:23 St. Louis or Eastern time for current Indy folks if you're in the Eastern time zone, but Central time, that's a 5:23 arrival. But you can see that line of storms working its way east here as it moves across the area over the next 3 hours, really moving east at about 30 miles per hour. Not moving super quick just yet. It'll probably end up moving east for the most part, probably around 40-ish miles per hour to at times 50 miles per hour throughout the evening. That's probably going to be the speed at which this moves throughout the evening. Okay, kind of pull this back out. Something of interest too is let's just look at what the outlook today is for severe weather. The tornado risk you can see is certainly that tornado watch is covering the area where there could be some tornadoes. The hail risk confined for impact down really across southern Arkansas, northern Louisiana, and eastern Texas. The wind risk is the biggest component of this. This is where I anticipate the most forms of severe weather to come from, in the form of what we would call straight line winds. So that's going to kind of be the idea today, is straight line wind gusts and gusts of wind along this squall line that goes well across the country. It's definitely the largest or the highest threat, if you will, for severe weather. There's another new severe thunderstorm warning coming out down there across northeastern Texas. So again, we're just kind of watching this evolve, watching this really start to get its act together. We'll go over here and get other views of clarity. One thing we've noticed out ahead of the line here today is it has been pretty sunny. It has been sunny really for most of the day. The models have somewhat downplayed instability a little bit, in my opinion, which means I think that these storms, as they move further east, can pack a punch. They can become stronger and have plenty of energy to work with, at least enough energy to work with to produce severe weather the further east we come tonight. Again, you can kind of see where all that sunshine is. So, all right, let's time it out real quick. Folks are asking, when do I anticipate it to be to Indianapolis? Let's take a look here. We'll go to the HRRR, and let's see if that is, let's see if it's out yet. I know our friend Eric here was working on, see if it's out yet. Let's see. Eric, let me know when you push the sub-hourly, the new tool there for the HRRR. See if we have that out yet. Let's see. Eric was pushing that new tool. I'll be excited to share that with you. For now, we'll go to the future radar tool here from Clarity. It'll do 30-minute increments, and again, you can kind of see, we'll time this out in terms of how this looks to move forward. Now, I will tell you, I think the HRRR model, I don't know how much I like how it's doing. We do have some data trying to suggest that it is going to see some prefrontal development ahead of the main line. The HRRR is trying to suggest that. If that's the case, thunderstorms would break out ahead of the main line, but I'm not so certain I'm in agreement with that right now. So what I'm going to do is go with my, at least my preferred model of choice. Now, again, I say that even the RRFS is trying to do prefrontal or mainline storm development. Sorry, I'm just looking at some of the comments here. Indy used to be the only ones you actually care about the forecast here. Yeah, I'm working on Indy. All right, Ken, we're going to time it out right now. Okay, so here's a look here. We'll turn on the timing so you guys can kind of see that. This is the time box here at the top right. That's Eastern time. Okay, and we'll kind of come out here. You can see the storms start to get their act together. Again, this is interesting because this particular model is trying to indicate thunderstorms would develop out ahead of the main line. And so if that's the case, what can happen is we will see some additional storm threats fire out ahead of this. So that's interesting nonetheless to see that at least being possible, right? So we'll go forward here. Again, that's 6, there's 7. You can see again those prefrontal storms coming. There's 8 o'clock Eastern time. And in this instance, those would be working onto the state line of Indiana and Illinois. So here's 8 o'clock Eastern or 7 Central. You can see that radar starting to really light up. And you can see how it is it's pretty busy. I mean, across the entire state, you've got thunderstorms. Then you've got the cold air mixing in on the backside, and you're showing snow just a couple hundred miles back west from it, which is crazy. Here's 9 p.m. All right, we'll pull this back out from just central Michigan over towards Crown Point, Terre Haute, down to Evansville, getting into western Tennessee, Jackson area, all the way into northwestern Mississippi. They're just north and west of Tupelo, Mississippi, if I'm saying that correctly, no idea. Greenville, and then getting down into Beaumont. All right, so you see just how expansive this is. I mean, it really is remarkable because you can kind of see why that wind risk spans all the way down from southern Michigan down to the coast. You can kind of see why that wind is going to be such a big deal all across this line. It's pretty remarkable for sure. So again, that's kind of that. Let's turn this back off here and continue to look at this. This is 9 p.m. Eastern. Here's 10 p.m. You can see again a pretty gnarly looking line of storms here. Thank you. And you can see it's coming in across the western third of Indiana, South Bend, Lafayette. This is 10 Eastern, Bloomington, Terre Haute, down to Evansville. We're continuing to go south here, Hopkinsville, Kentucky, and here western Tennessee, going to be on the doorstep of Nashville by 10 Eastern, and it's a big nasty line. And listen, yeah, it could become a derecho, I guess you could say. It's not out of the question. A pretty odd, a pretty odd way to get a derecho this time of year. But listen, it's not off the table here. 10 o'clock, look at the dynamic setup here. Look at this. I mean, all the way, I got to zoom this out because this is remarkable. I mean, you just have an unbelievable storm here. You've got this massive swath of snow and wind, just 40, 50, 60 mile per hour winds, and just wind just ripping around the backside of this low pressure center. 988 low. You've got ice, you've got sleet, you've got heavy rain, and then you've got wind damage potential from southern Michigan down to Louisiana over a course here of probably 1,000 to 1,200 miles. It is just crazy, just the expansive coverage this storm is going to try to be, it's going to be dissing out here. Not to mention just how windy it is already. I mean, this was out of Whiteland just a bit ago, just from the wind before any storms. We're knocking over telephone poles here in Whiteland, Indiana, and again, it's giving those power outages here. We've got the current power outages. They're coming down a little bit, but 23,700 people. That's just across Indiana. All right, so just crazy nonetheless to see the what we've dealt with just already and where we're at. So back to timing this out. Okay, going forward here is 11 o'clock tonight. Okay, so you can see it's coming in Kokomo, Indy, and nasty line of storms here. Noblesville, Carmel, Greenwood, Columbus, just east of Bloomington, 11 p.m. Eastern time. Okay, someone says trees are snapping in Brown County already. Wow, yeah, that's crazy. Someone on the team there, if you could, Blake says he's trying to sign up for Clarity and he's getting an error message. If someone could look into that, I'd appreciate that. I don't know what that's all about. Someone help Blake out. There should definitely be sound. If you don't have sound, you might need to back out of the stream and come back into it, but I don't know why you wouldn't have sound. And I can always verify that. Someone on the team there. Yeah, I have sound. I just hopped on. So, nonetheless, here, this is down 11 p.m. tonight. Then we're going further into west of Louisville, Owensboro, Bowling Green. All right, then we're getting into Nashville, and then coming up across portions of northwest Alabama, really plowing through portions of Mississippi. All right, Jackson, Mississippi, 11 p.m. Eastern tonight. And again, all the way down here, almost getting into Baton Rouge. So just crazy nonetheless to see the expansive coverage again by 11 p.m. tonight. There's midnight coming into Cincinnati, Nashville, going right through Nashville around midnight, Huntsville, coming into portions of central and southeastern Mississippi at that time as well. There is 1 a.m. Dayton, Cincinnati, Lexington, getting into Chattanooga. And then look at this line just continue. I mean, this is crazy. This is out by 3 a.m. Eastern time. And what's starting to happen now is we're going to start wrapping in the Arctic air on the backside of this. Now the cold is going to start coming in rapidly and changing the rain to snow across the Ohio Valley. And we're going to be dealing with snow squalls and nasty snow squalls too. Ones that are probably going to be able to accumulate, cause slick surfaces, temperatures to crash into the stinking teens and single digits. It's disgusting. But look at this massive warm sector here, all the way up into southern Canada, into Ottawa and Quebec. It's just a crazy storm, and it's almost mesmerizing to see. Obviously, you don't want people to get hurt or anything bad to happen. But you look at this and it's like, wow, this is just mesmerizing to the eye to see storm to this magnitude and this big. Going forward, there's 4 a.m., 5 a.m. coming across Ohio here tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. getting into Youngstown, Pittsburgh. And then as the sun comes up, this thing moves up the East Coast tomorrow. It's going to be a bad day tomorrow for the East Coast. We'll see a resurgence of energy, if you will. And the day 2 outlook tomorrow, I'm not certain there. Eric, that's great intel. For the team watching, he tried to sign up for the monthly, and it's the coupon code only works for the annual package. So that's why it didn't work, Blake. For those of you listening, just FYI, Eric, thank you for the info there. But this is the thing, a moderate risk tomorrow up the East Coast here. Again, this all analysis done here by Synoptic Weather, synopticwx.com. It's free to get this data. But look at this. I mean, this is it's just crazy. The outbreak of severe weather for the Carolinas up into Virginia, and then up into the mid-Atlantic, into New England, but then the snow behind it. That's the crazy part. It's just unbelievable to see that. Right now, it's tough. I try not to be over dramatic and anything like that. And listen, there's one thing you're never going to find me doing on here is coming out and talking about chaos and madness and the storm of the century and the biggest storm you're ever going to see, and everybody freak out and put a bunch of crazy graphics and all this other crap on here. I'm going to tell you how it is. I'm going to give you an analysis. It may come on. My hat might be backwards. It might be forward. I don't know. You're going to get who I am, and I'm going to give you the weather, but it's not going to be a show or theatrical or dramatic. I promise. Let's get back real quick. A new tornado watch has come out. I do want to come back and cover that. The tornado watch now is in effect for southwestern Indiana, western Kentucky, southern Illinois, western Tennessee. So we now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 states now under a tornado watch. And so you can kind of see what we're doing here, what the Storm Prediction Center is trying to do, is get everybody really aware and ready, and for anticipation of severe weather and possibly tornadoes. I want to come in here real quick, and one thing I love about Clarity is I can also go to the local radar and come in on this particular setup right here. A new tornado warning has been issued. It's going to go for the next 44 minutes. That's for southeastern Calhoun County and southwest Illinois, Jersey County and southwestern Illinois, and east central Lincoln County and east central Missouri. It'll go till 4:45 Central, and it is a radar indicated tornado. It's moving east at 35 miles per hour. I want to show you this one here and get some time on that, and kind of show you the impact here of where this one's going to go. Again, at 35 miles per hour, we'll take it out 1 hour here. But again, I want you to understand we are in central time here when we're analyzing this. But Rosedale, 4:20 Central, Batchtown, 4:09 Central, Otterville, 4:34, Jerseyville, 4:41, and then right in about 45 minutes to just over an hour away, it looks like Fidelity perhaps, and then getting into Illinois. You can kind of see that tornado warning now moving east. If you're in Winfield, you need to be in shelter right away. Rosedale, you're up next, 4:20 Central time here for that new tornado warning to move into your area. Just north of the St. Louis metro area. I will tell you, this thunderstorm moving into the St. Louis metro area, 60-mile-hour wind potential. It is moving northeast at 50 miles per hour. I would like to at least get this timing for you to arrive in St. Louis metro area. Let's do that right now and time that one out. We'll click here. Again, super neat tool. We're going to take it out here so it gets into St. Louis. We're looking at a arrival time St. Louis metro right around 5:05 Central Time. 5:05 Central Time, about 1 hour or so it'll make its way there. 60-minute arrival time to St. Louis Metro for the leading edge of this particular storm. And again, like I said, you can start to see this really starting to get its act together as this line is starting to mature, if you will, as it moves north and east here over the next several hours. So pull this back out. Let's put this into motion. Let's gather our bearings and look at some comments here. All right, let's see. I will interact with you guys a little bit. See what we got here. We appreciate everybody. I'll tell you what I'll do here. I'm streaming from home, but I'm going to move here just real quick so I can look at my screen instead of, looking up and to the right the whole time. It's probably a little distracting to you guys. All right, there we go. So I can look right at the screen. But let me look at some comments here. How will Bloomington, Indiana be? Well, I mean, you're going to get some nasty storms tonight, probably around 9-10 o'clock. 9 to 11 p.m. is really the window for Bloomington. And is Lauren Thomas still with BAM? Yes, she is. She's president of our company, and she is probably on here, if I had to guess. Actually, today's her birthday. So I would wish Lauren a happy birthday. Probably working, watching. But yeah, she's still out and about. Timing for East Central Indiana, Bailey, probably again around midnight for East Central Indiana. Indianapolis, Indiana, Leah, probably right around that 11 p.m. time frame. So yeah, certainly possible to see the storms working through right around that 10 to 11 p.m. time frame right through the city of Indianapolis. Okay, Kokomo right around that 10 or 11 time as well. All right, let's see. I'll talk about the backside impacts, yes, and the potential for flash freezing is going to be tough. The reason I think it's tough is because the winds are just so strong. It may act to dry stuff up pretty quickly, but I will talk about it. We will cover it to see if I think there's any potential of that. The storm tracking tool it's coming, I promise. It'll be issued in the next couple of days. Right now, internally, we're the only ones that have it, but it will be coming to an app near you in Clarity very soon. There is a tornado risk for Indianapolis, Philip. Absolutely, there is. There will be potentially a tornado watch as well for Central Indiana. I think it'll be a little bit before it comes out, but it wouldn't shock me at this rate if Jerry. It wouldn't shock me at this rate to see a tornado watch being issued into Indiana as well. Just for kind of everything I'm seeing. This storm in particular, this setup, we kind of what we call a QLCS, quasi-linear convective system, and these storms can spin up quickly within the line and create tornadoes, and that's the potential there that we're going to be dealing with tonight is quick spin ups, but damaging straight line winds too. I mean, look at all the warnings already. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 16 warnings out right now. And it's only 5 o'clock. We've got 5 more hours before it gets into Central Indiana. So it's going to be a bit. Nonetheless, they're coming. They're coming. Thank you for the information. You're welcome, Crystal, Marshall, Illinois. It's really difficult for me to know exactly where those locations are. As you can see here across Illinois, there is a tornado watch spanning as far north as Peoria, Bloomington, Urbana. But yeah, the storm tracking tool is coming for sure. So will the line start to lose its punch once the sun goes down? Josh, I don't think so, because I think the dynamics will keep this thing up and running. The upper level winds will keep it up and running for sure. Tornado chances for Indianapolis, Brian. Yeah, I mean there are chances for tornadoes in Indianapolis. I mean we will have the potential for a tornado this evening for sure. All right, sorry guys. Yeah, we got the dogs going. We got to get them. We got to take care of them. Get them out of here. If storms break out ahead of this, do you think they'll lower the temperature enough to make line weaker? No, this isn't one of those. This isn't one of those events where it's going to die out or, gosh, it's crazy around here. This isn't one of those events where it's going to die out or be weaker because of the time of day or the something coming out ahead of it because of the upper level winds. That will be the issue. It'll keep kind of driving that, if you will. Will we have a white Christmas? I don't know. Why don't you check back in about 11 months? We will not have a Clarity only live tonight. Anytime there's weather like this, we're live everywhere. It's across the board. So this is where you'll have me here live for sure. My dog's making your all's dogs bark. I apologize for that. All right, so let's continue here to check this out one and look at the line moving in. This is a look here at current radar. What I want to do is kind of just kind of look at this setup in general here throughout the rest of the evening. Again, a lot of you have been asking about timing. I am going to take a look at that here again for just the west to east stuff. Just in general here, what we think it's looking like right along the state line of Indiana and Illinois, about 9 p.m. Eastern, Kalamazoo, Michigan, getting into Evansville, Jackson, and into northwestern Mississippi. And then as it continues to go forward, here is 10 p.m. and 11 p.m. It's knocking on the doorstep. And for those of you asking, is there a potential for tornadoes? Yes, there is. In terms of where that tornado potential is, it really kind of extends up and through here. If I turn the fill off, I'll change the color of the map here, which you can do to kind of help see this sometimes a little bit. But you can kind of see where that tornado potential reaches up to. Anywhere you see the hatched lines here, there is certainly the potential for any of these storms to produce tornadoes as they move to the east. Now, the greatest potential for tornadoes is obviously going to come in the area here that you see that's highlighted in orange. That's where the strongest risk for tornadoes is. But nonetheless, that risk goes well up into central Indiana for sure. There's no doubt that some of these storms can absolutely rotate tonight and offer up severe weather. All right. Yeah, we do. We try to, whenever there's weather going on, I try to just be live for everybody. That way, we can keep people, updated, keep them safe. When there's weather like this, I try to keep it. For everyone, so anyone can come and watch and check it out. And this type of coverage is a little bit more level-headed, a little bit lower on the hype pole, not super techy, not flashy and hey chaos and craziness across the world and lights and all the other things that in the background and all that stuff. It's just weather coverage. All right, so. Nonetheless, let's take a look here. Radar, again, you can see that line firing up here. St. Louis Metro, you're about 50 minutes. You're about to get hit here in St. Louis. Multiple tornado warnings here across south central Missouri right now. This is a look here at current, let's see, that warning there for another hour. Yeah, we've got multiple tornado warnings out going down here across the south. This entire south portion of this line is warned. Basically, Little Rock all the way to northeast Texas has severe thunderstorm warnings. A lot of this is probably for hail in terms of versus the tornado threat a little bit further southwest of that. Awesome. All right, let's see here. Yeah, we'll continue to keep you updated. And kind of, honestly, what I'm doing tonight, guys, is I'm really just kind of trying to update everybody everywhere, try a little bit more of a broader coverage type stream where if weather's hopefully we're back here. One thing I'm a little worried about is, let me see if this, hopefully we're back here. Yeah, the problem is I'm worried about the wind. We are getting 60, 50, 60 mile per hour gusts here. So if the power goes out, I'm in trouble. But I'll definitely be on as much as I can be if I'm not getting knocked out by power or internet connection. So I will tell you, just down the road, there are like 3 power poles that are laying on the ground about 3 miles from here. So I don't know how I still have power, but I'm thankful that I do. So I know the folks obviously work hard to maintain keeping folks with power. So luckily right now I'm okay, but nonetheless, refresh. If you need to come back, go out and come back in, you can refresh and we'll get you the latest. So all right. So far along the line, the only spot where we've seen tornado risks here is this northern part of that line here near the St. Louis metro area. And again, getting into southwestern Illinois, that tornado warning is going to go for about another 28 minutes. It is a radar observed tornado warning, which means it's not confirmed or anything like that. But it is working into Otterville, Jerseyville, Illinois, and probably going to be getting some nasty wind along with it. But they certainly have the potential to be rotating and offering up tornadoes as well with that system. So yeah, I'm a little worried about the internet. That's for sure. We'll come back out here, guys. This storm working into St. Louis metro area again. It's certainly looking like it's got enough enough oomph with it to give St. Louis a little bit of a problem. It's just a little over an hour out, about an hour or so, or a little bit more out, and you know, headed right into the metro area there, back out to the nationwide radar. This stuff out ahead, I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not so sure what this stuff's gonna try to do out ahead of this just yet. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it just yet. When you look here at the instability, there's really not a lot of instability or cape out where these storms are trying to fire out ahead of this. I think they're a distraction. But down there in southern Illinois and western Kentucky, there's just not really much instability or energy to allow those storms to flourish much. Let me get back here to the comments. Trees taking out power lines. Yeah. Central Indiana looking like we're going to get hit around 10, 11 o'clock tonight, guys. That's when the main stuff comes through. Around 10 or 11 p.m. I had a backup generator at my old house, and it was great. I loved it, and it was awesome because the power would go out and it would turn the internet and everything right back on instantly. But I sold that house. We're renting right now and kind of looking for a new place. So don't have one right now. Wish I did. Clean the closet out storms. If that's my friend Christian Wilson, I feel like your wife is asking you to ask that question. If it's not my friend Christian Wilson, I don't know. I don't think it's clean the. I don't know. I mean, if there's a tornado, yeah, you'd want to go to your closet. I don't have updates for Pennsylvania right now. I'll have to get back to you. I'm not checking the forecast for Pennsylvania tomorrow. I've seen you ask it like 4 times. I'll get to you. Give me a little bit. I'm going through the other 500 comments. But I'll check here in just a little bit. Indy snow accumulation 6 a.m. to noon tomorrow. I think it can coat the ground. I think you could have enough snow to cause some issues on the pavement. Okay, we'll take a look here at kind of backside impacts here, because they certainly are going to be some. This is a look at our latest model guidance in here this afternoon. Again, you can see by 5 or 6 o'clock, snow's already coming down. Okay. And throughout the day tomorrow, it's off and on all day long. And the crazy thing is that some of these snow showers could actually be pretty heavy. Temperatures will be into the 20s, and it'll be certainly cold enough for the snow to stick and to accumulate, and even really drastically reduce visibilities at times. But look at these snow squalls. I mean, these are impressive snow squalls. So, nonetheless, these things certainly are going to have the potential to really cause temporary coatings of snow on the road and parking lots. But this is Monday night as the sun's down into Tuesday morning. It's still snowing hard, and these squalls are going to be, Tuesday morning there could be some problems with the snow accumulating. Okay. My opinion for school delays, cancellations for Western Ohio tomorrow. I don't think so. I mean, I don't know what they would. No, I doubt it. Now, Monday night into Tuesday, there could be some delays or cancellations for the squalls, for sure. Hail probability is low. I don't know what you mean by enlarge the map. about as good as I can get it. This is a 1-2 punch of total BS. I agree. Yeah, if you do turn your phone horizontally, if you have it upright, it'll help for sure. But yeah, you see this, and then watch this as I move this out. Watch this behind it up in the northern plains. Look at this. Holy moly, that's a burst of snow. Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, another burst of snow. Look at that. I mean, that's just ridiculous. Can it accumulate? Can that second batch of snow coming through accumulate? Yeah, it could offer up 1/4 of an inch. According to this run, maybe enough to coat the ground again. So, you know, I want to make sure that you guys, if you salt things, if you're responsible for winter maintenance and stuff, want to make sure you're absolutely doing that. That you have the ability to salt and keep roads clear for sure. So, all right, guys. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to continue to watch this line move east. We're going to pause for just a little bit and give this about another half an hour to an hour to continue to work its way off to the east. A lot of this right now are severe wind gusts and severe thunderstorm warnings. Once the line ramps up in its intensity, which will probably happen over the next hour or two, I will continue to come to keep everyone posted. I'll be back to talk about this. We will be live all night, I promise. But I'm gonna pause, watch this evolve. I absolutely do anticipate, for those of you watching across central Indiana, tornado watch to go up tonight for sure. And I think it'll be issued here probably by, I don't know, 7 or 8 o'clock. So we'll keep everyone posted. We'll be back. We're going to take a little pause, and we'll come back here in just a little bit with more coverage here with the severe weather.